headlines in them. The two earlier kickoffs certainly had that, of course, that after those 6 games yesterday. They saw those wins for Liverpool, for Villa, for Brighton, and of course 5 goals for Manchester City. Earlier on, only a point for Manchester United. They were 1 down to Southampton, so they got an equaliser at Southampton with their first point of the season. Nuno back at Wolves, 2-1 nils in charge of Tottenham for him. Harry Kane on in the 72nd minute for Spurs as a substitute. Chelsea win the derby for 2-0 comfortably at Arsenal. And of course, one more still to come. 2 of last season's top 6, both who started with a victory, meet in the Monday Night Football at the London Stadium. West Ham against Leicester. So, with 2 games in, we are producing a league table. And 4 teams have that 100% record so far, with 2 more, of course, still to play. Chelsea, Liverpool, Brighton and Spurs, and Chelsea top of the tree on goal difference. And those teams still to register a point. Arsenal are one of those 5. And a reminder, to lose their opening 2 games having not scored a goal, it's the first time that has happened in the entire history of Arsenal football.
Thomas, just how comprehensive a victory was that for Chelsea?
What is comprehensive?
Totally in control.
Yeah, maybe I didn't feel us in. Yeah, I had the feeling in first half we lack a bit of sharpness and of activity. We got in some moments a bit passive. I think we had a long training week and we trained very, very hard, double sessions. So I had the feeling we were a bit laggy. Second half, we overcame some minutes in the beginning, and then we controlled it very, very good. Created some chances. I think we deserved to win, but still room to improve.
If you weren't completely satisfied with the performance, what would you say about the second debut of Romelu Lukaku?
The debut?
Second debut.
Yeah. Well, I'm very happy with the way he has integrated already. He's a very smart guy, and he likes to be in the group, and he's a very democratic leader. So talks to everybody, is very friendly, very humble, and totally competitive. Yeah, he gives something to our game that we did not have so much, like to protect balls, to play very direct up front into the last line. Okay, but you cannot start better than with a goal. He almost scored a second one here. It was a big save from Bernd Leno, and he assisted some half chances. So it's good start, and we have to improve from here.
You said before the game it's your first time coaching him. Was that, it's only one game, of course, but was that what you expected? The way he held it up and the way he brought other people into play?
Yeah, but I didn't expect too much. I wanted to be open to watch him and to see his strengths and his capability to adapt and to link up between Kai and Mason and him. And this is what he did very, very good. The guys like to play with each other, and from now on we can go into details. It's good.
Do you feel also that you managed the game well, particularly in the second half?
Yeah, but I mean... Yeah, I don't know if it's possible to manage games in Premier League, but like I said, I felt us a bit like with heavy legs in the first half, and in some moments it was a bit too open. If you lead 2-0 in a situation like this at Arsenal, the opponent has nothing to lose, so they created also some overloads on each side, so we had to overcome also some difficult minutes, but we were in control also defensively and did a good team effort. Yeah, and after that we had better and better control of the ball, could create some good chances, but I'm never sure in Premier League. If you don't score a third one or a fourth one, you can never be sure.
There was one worrying moment for Reece James. What did the medical team say to you in terms of how he was? What was the protocol? Was he knocked unconscious? What can you tell us?
No, not at all. He was not at all unconscious. He was just worried that he lost a tooth or broke a tooth, and that's why he was a bit shocked, but nothing else.
Good to hear.
Yes.
What does this victory give you on the back of last week in terms of a start to the season?
Yeah, well, it's a perfect start. We didn't concede a goal, and we have two victories. It's a London derby. It gives us a lot of genuine confidence. So it's what you need as a team, because we are a different group. Some players left, some new players came in. So this is what you need. This experiences together, good victories, moments where you suffer, where you work hard together. This is how our group is built. and that's why we are absolutely happy with the start. But like I said, often enough, it was a unique preparation. We're still in the process, and we have to keep on going.
Dominant, I would say. Dominant, but like I said, I try to improve every time. I have a long way to go, but today was good. It was good to win and to start well. And now we have to keep working. We have to keep working, keep building, keep getting stronger, because the Premier League is a very competitive league. But we're ready for the challenge, and hopefully we can improve from this.
Well, Gary Neville described your performance as the complete centre-forward performance.
Yeah, I try. But at the end of the day, you want to work hard for the team, you want to win, you want to score, you want to create chances. Something that I've learned, that I worked on really hard, and I keep working on it. Because this team is very, very talented. This team, they're the European champions. But obviously, they want to keep building. I want to continue winning. So, we have to keep fighting, keep working hard, and, keep delivering performances like this.
When we spoke in the week, you said, look, my time in Italy, my technique has improved, playing with my back to goal, bring other people in. Did we see all of that today?
I think you saw a part. You saw a lot, But not only for me, I think the team adapted really well. I asked a lot of questions to the players, and they helped me a lot. They made life very comfortable for me. So I wasn't stressed when I came into the game. I was very focused. And there was one thing on my mind, just win the game. And we did today. I'm very delighted for the club, for the fans. And, let's keep building.
You looked like you couldn't quite believe that your header hadn't gone in for the second.
No, but there are good goalkeepers in this league, and that was a great save. I think the cross from Mason was brilliant. The header was good, but the save was also really good. So in general, for the neutral supporter, it was a great action. But I was mad that I didn't score.
Again, when we spoke in the week, you seemed so comfortable, almost serene. You said, look, it's not about one day, it's about settling in. But having said all of that, what does this give you as a start?
It's good. It's good to start like this. I worked hard throughout the week. The team worked hard throughout the week. We knew it was a big game for us. Everybody was watching us, and we did well. As an individual, I tried to help the team.
After those goals.
Yeah, I mean, he had a big influence on the first goal, and just his presence had an influence on the second goal. And I thought he had a really, really good debut, or second debut. He could have scored more as well. He had a fantastic header late on that was superbly saved by Leno. But I think that's a different angle now to Chelsea. I think everything that Thomas Tuchel would have been dreaming of this new signing has almost come to fruition in one game. He can now build from that. He can understand, because I think he said before the game as well, it's not just Romelu Lukaku adapting to Chelsea. We've got to adapt to him as well. And when you're that good a player, that important a player, playing in that important a position, then sometimes your team have got to adapt to him as well. And I think that sort of already it looked like a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah, 22 shots they had today. He had 8 of them.
Yeah.
Lifts a dressing room, a player of that quality coming in.
Oh, absolutely. You've got a focal point. But I also like the way that they brought their 2 wide guys in, Werner and Havertz. I think the way that they drew them in and got the 2 fullbacks going, as in a 4 down the side, I thought was exceptional today. So not only have you got the boy up to the front, you can lay it into the 2 pivot people as well. It's a lovely formation. The 3-4-3 it's really difficult to go up against. I've played against it a few times, and the area of the pitch that I thought was maybe their weakness, although Arsenal had no threat going forward, was Christensen. I thought he was exceptional today, and he looked like a world beater. And that always, not only that frustrates me that you're getting a good eye in at one end, you got the other centre half up the other end looking like he's having a holiday. That's very frustrating.
I bet. And that system Lukaku brings the wing-backs even more into play. We've seen that with Chelsea in the past.
Yeah, always an interesting battle when you've got a wing-back to see whether he ends up defending or whether he can have an influence going forward as well. And what I did notice in the game is that the more and more Lukaku has an influence on it, the tighter and tighter and tighter everyone comes to almost create bodies around him to try to nick it. They're that petrified. And all of a sudden, there's acres of space out wide. And we saw it in the first half in particular with Reece James bombing down that right-hand side, and both goals came from that.
Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned Havertz there, because a big question last season was how does he fit in? Does Lukaku's arrival actually help him as well then?
100%. I think, like Michael pointed out, with the Werner coming inside, you have them little pockets of space. You know, we didn't have it back in our days. It was one centre forward at the time, left winger, that used to come inside to give us problems. A guy called John Barnes, Liverpool player, and they only kind of jumped inside all the time. And Lee Dixon was saying to me, the right back, "What do I have to go in there? What am I doing? What am I doing?" And we made the decision, because we're all leaders and we spoke about it, go on, in you go. But then you have someone to get in the space. You know, you have to figure that out. So I'm a little bit disappointed that he didn't organise that, Arteta, and saw the gaps. I said at half time, this ain't working. You need to put Maitland-Niles in on that side, keep a back four to keep them spaces, because that's where they hurt us today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a difficult team to play against, Chelsea, because they've not only got... I mean, they've always had star players, but now they've got a focal point as well. And once you've got that focal point, you know, so many players can run off it. You know, who do you mark? Who do you focus on? You know, you focus on Lukaku for 1 minute, and then all of a sudden, you know, you've got the Werners with his pace. You know, you've got Havertz, who's going to get better and better in this team as well. So... And then you've got fullbacks that like bombing on as well, or wing-backs. It's a very, very good team. And I said it before the show, or at the start of the show, I think the Premier League this year is as competitive at the top end. I think the top four this year really are going to battle it out for a long time. I think Manchester City and Liverpool have been ahead these last few years, but now I think Arsenal and possibly Manchester United as well are gathering pace.
Well, talking of wing-backs, that leads us beautifully into one of Chelsea's goal scorers today, Reece James, who joins us live from the Emirates. Reece, thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Congratulations. How good does that feel, a London derby win away from home?
Yeah, it's obviously a great result here today. We knew coming here was going to be very tough, and obviously when you lead 2 goals at half time, you know they're going to have to come out basically all gun blazing in the second half. So they had a bit more of the ball in the second half, but we had to stick in there.
How good was it, those away fans backing you as well? We heard the chant of Reece James. He's one of our own throughout that game.
Yeah, it's very good having the fans back in the stadium. You know, it's a shame this game wasn't at the Bridge, but yeah, can't wait for the next one.
And that feeling when you scored the goal, Michael Owen here was very impressed with that finish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't score too many goals, but when I do, I try and make it a special one.
Reece, I was watching with interest, especially before the game. We're just watching your goal here, but before the game, we were thinking Tierney's an attacking wide player. You're an attacking fullback as well. Where's it going to break here? Who's going to get the upper hand? And it was actually you that was doing more of the attacking. Is there any insight? Is there any things that you do during the game to make sure it's him that's on the back foot defending rather than you?
No, I think that's a hard question to answer. You know, obviously teams have momentum in games, and sometimes you can't really control which teams got the upper hand. But today, in the first half, we started well, and I had a lot of the ball.
And we're just watching you finish going in there. Was it always the plan to lift it as the goalkeeper comes out? I mean, it was a lovely finish. It was almost like a striker's finish.
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan, across and high. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say.
Almost like a striker. He's very complimentary, isn't he, Reece? And an assist as well for Romelu Lukaku. What a dream start for him today.
Yeah, I mean, what an addition to our team, to have such a vocal striker like that. Everyone's seen today how powerful he is, and when he gets a chance, he finishes.
Reece, Tony Adams, mate, why didn't you join the Arsenal, pal? We could have done with you today. Brilliant, pal. Well done. Excellent performance. A great goal. Thanks, Reece.
Thank you.
And just finally, Reece, I mean, I know you played more often than anybody else under Thomas Tuchel. There's a real feel-good factor under him now.
Yeah, definitely. Ever since he's arrived, he's changed the atmosphere around the building. He's brought the group together, and every day in training and in every meeting and every match, I just feel the team getting stronger and growing in a good way.
And how much stronger are you with Romelu Lukaku? What kind of lift has he given you this week?
No, I think he's shown how he bullies players today. I can't really think of any other players like him in the world. How strong he is and powerful. Everyone he comes up against, he just bullies.
Well, I'm sure there's lots more to come. Listen, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Well done again today.
Thank you.
Reece James, and in all seriousness, can he add more goals to his game? He said he doesn't get many, those positions he gets into.
Well, if he keeps getting into those positions, and, we've spoken about the benefits of Lukaku for the Chelsea team, but for him in particular, it's unbelievable. When you can pass a ball into a centre-forward and have the confidence that he's not going to give the ball away, all of a sudden it's a different dimension that it adds to your team. Your fullbacks can go and commit and be confident that they're not going to lose it and have to run, do the hard yards going back the way. So yeah, if Lukaku's fit and Lukaku continues playing like that, then I'd say he's going to score a few more goals.